Let's talk about Emile Durkheim and his contributions to the study of sociology. David Emile Durkheim, a French sociologist, social psychologist, and philosopher, is considered by many as the father of sociology. He published many books in his study, which includes On the Division of Social Labor, The Elementary Forms of Religious Life, On Suicide, and The Rules of Sociological Method, and many others. He is primarily concerned with how does society hold itself together despite the fact we all have different interests. Durkheim hoped to answer this question through the scientific study of what he called social facts. According to Durkheim, social facts are manners of acting, thinking, and feeling external to the individual, which are invested with a coercive power by virtue of which they exercise control over him. As societies become modern, fewer restrictions on members are imposed. Modern society is then can be equated to more freedom, greater possibility for enemy, and disconnection from the moral norms and rules. Enemy is a condition in which society provides little moral guidance to individuals. He further explained it to be a feeling of disconnection from the moral norms and rules of a society. Living with weak moral norms and values, modern people can become egocentric, placing their own needs above those of others and finding little purpose in life. Let's take the destruction of celebrities by fame as an example of the destructive effects of enemy. Famous celebrities destroyed by fame may include Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, and Miley Cyrus. Sudden fame tears people from their families and familiar routines, disrupts established values and norms, and breaks down society's support and regulation of the individual, sometimes with fatal result. The suicide rate, which Durkheim considered a good index of enemy, gradually increased, and reports shows that moral questions is not in clear terms of right and wrong, but in confusing shades of gray. Therefore, Durkheim explained, an individual's desires must be balanced by the claims and guidance of society, a balance that is sometimes difficult to achieve in the modern world. Enemy remains a danger, but Durkheim hoped we would be able to create laws and other norms to regulate our behavior. Durkheim's study was primarily interested in what holds society together when it is made up of people with specialized roles and responsibilities. In the division of labor in society, Durkheim provides an answer by turning to an external indicator of solidarity, the law, to uncover two types of social solidarity: mechanical solidarity and organic solidarity. Mechanical solidarity is a social bond based on common sentiments and shared moral values that are strong among members of pre-industrial societies. In pre-industrial societies, he explained, tradition operates as the social cement that binds people together, and that whoever dares to challenge conventional ways of life, collective conscience, will be punished. Durkheim called these bonds mechanical because people are linked together in lockstep with a more or less automatic sense of belonging together and acting alike. Societies with mechanical solidarity tend to be small with a high degree of religious commitment, and people in a mechanical society oftentimes have the same jobs and responsibilities, thus indicating a low division of labor. With industrialization, mechanical solidarity becomes weaker and weaker, and people are much less bound by tradition. But this does not mean that society dissolves. Modern life creates a new type of solidarity, organic solidarity, which he defined as social bonds based on specialization and interdependence that are strong among members of industrial societies. Put simply, organic solidarity is more complex with a higher division of labor because members tend to have different specializations. The concept of organic solidarity likens individual workers to specific bodily organs and a group of people to a body. Different bodily organs serve different functions. Without these organs, the body would die, and so would the individual organs. Similarly, in a society characterized by organic solidarity, individual workers perform different kinds of labor, without which society could not function, nor could individual workers thrive. Durkheim argues that societies move from mechanical to organic solidarity through the division of labor. Division of labor, specialized economic activity, is the key for the changes in the society. Members of the society depend, most of them strangers, for the goods and services needed every day. For example, in the case of cloth processing, salespeople depend on manufacturers to build products, and manufacturers depend on salespeople to sell them. What holds society together? According to Durkheim, this social integration or solidarity, mechanical or organic, holds society together. He contrasted the mechanical solidarity of pre-industrial societies, which is based on shared morality, with modern society's organic solidarity, which is based on specialization. How can society change? Durkheim pointed to an expanding division of labor as the key dimension of social change. Emile Durkheim's idea about society is that solidarity holds society together despite the fact we all have different interests and keeps changing due to the expanding division of labor. There exist two types of solidarity. One is the mechanical solidarity, existing in the pre-industrial society and is based on the likeness. And the other is the organic solidarity. Industrialization gives rise to organic society and is based on the differences and productive specialization.